up to this point, have been able to do it the way my dad did it. Was you go to work at a company 30 years, retire, and that was pretty much it. But the companies are not here for us to stay 30 years and retire at. So they're coming and going so fast, and are raising the degrees of education to a point that you're either overqualified or underqualified. And I seem to be in that niche. I go to one, if I go to a custodian job, I'm overqualified. If I go to a management job, then they want bachelor's degrees or MBAs. And I've already done management, but it didn't require it years ago, and now they've raised the bar on such things. It's keeping salaries down, and then top it all off, so many of the companies are not even offering a package as we used to have in the older firms that I worked for. I think it's a lot more variety probably in a place like Washington, D.C., where the politics dictate a lot of influx of different kind of jobs. But here in the rural area of where I'm at, I've already been here. I was born here. My family's here, and you sort of choose to stay here and to try to commute to somewhere else. It's certainly a possibility, but it's not usually feasible, because I've had so many friends of mine that did transfer to some other city, and then they get there 6 months, and then that company fires them. They just get what they can out of them, and there isn't any longevity to the job. I've worked for, probably the first time I got laid off was in 1986. But that was a different world than now. I mean, back then I could get another job for the sunset. I had the skills and the ambition to go do that, and the jobs were available then. There was a time you could work your way up in short order, especially if you had the ambition to do so. And the companies, they pushed for you to do that. It was good. It was good incentive. Now, the last recent of times, the last 2-3 years, everything has changed when people have downsized the amount of money they don't want to pay. Since I've been around for a little while, I guess I'm about 5 or 6 years older than President Obama, when it goes back to history on that. So I have a good remembrance of a lot of different things, but I don't see the economy getting any better. I mean, if it is, it's only by little inches and not miles. It's not a great big deal at all. We have to debate whether or not we need to pay our own Americans right here that's worked hard, who've lost their jobs, and we got to think about whether or not we're going to give them unemployment or not. And we're just trying to get it back on our feet. We want to work, but it seems like the only people working is politicians. I feel like all the resumes are dropping off into an electronic trash can. You rarely ever hear anything come back. I mean, if I put in 100 out, I'm lucky if I get 2 back, says thanks but no thanks. It's a lot of false hope out there. I'm not trying to put gloom and doom in it. I still think it's a positive world. It's the best world we got to live in, and we got to keep going with it. But I don't always believe everything I see and hear on the television.